Good Thursday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about cars and trucks and SUVs and motorcycles and dogs and general conversations and silliness in there. For all my subscribers, thank you for watching and subscribing. This is a problem here with my dogs. So come on, pups, let's go. Come on, get in. It's gonna be a problem. My neighbor walks his dog down the neighborhood, and this is gonna turn into a fiasco. That's where it's all going. So, hey there. The separation of the animals, separating animals from going after each other. Come on, pups, let's go. Looky here. Hungry? Looky here. What do I got for you? Come on, come on. It's the old trick. It's the old treat trick. Boy, boy, oh boy. Come on, get on in. Walks his dog, and it's like perfect timing. When I get these dogs out here some days, let's get the dogs in the barn as fast as possible. Oh, well, let's go. Come on. Keep them separated, and my life would be a lot better. Come on, let's go. Come on, come on. Looky here. Come on. Let's go. There is the Power Boost. Wow, what a great truck. I just love this truck. I mean, it's so nice. Let's go. Come on. Looky here. Come on, pups. I'm going to have to walk back to that. Yeah, I'm moving fast. You know why? I've got to keep my dog separate. Neighbor's dog. Otherwise, it just turns into... yeah. All right. So funny. I do so many things, and my light was left on last night. Kid left that on. What's that all about? You guys just stay right there for a second, okay? Yeah. So anyways, wow. Last night, set up the truck. I got my cover on. Got my carpeted bed back into the truck, and I got to get the Velcro sticky to put on here to get this to kind of set up. I got that all knocked out last night, so that was really cool. And in the truck, this Power Boost, it's gone around. Apparently, this is the second model year. Apparently, it came out in 2022. And one of my, so funny, truck has like, mind of its own. Kind of like cheap GPT. Oh, the birds are back. See here? So aggravating. These birds start living in my barn, and they just crap on everything. But it drives you nuts. So, yeah. The truck has a mind of its own. Kind of like not the chat GPT, but the cheat GPT. Is anybody paying attention to what's going on? Wow. I mean, I'm not embellishing here. So, it's the generative... pre-trained transformer, GPT, generative pre-trained transformer. That's what that means. I think, yeah, they call it the chat GPT. No, it should be called the cheat GPT because of the artificial intelligence, the open AI, the Sam Altman that's running that company, Open AI. They just announced for $20 a month, you're going to get the premium, GPT conversations where you get to talk to artificial intelligence, and you will be able to have access 24/7 with no delay. Apparently, so many people, apparently 100 million people have already signed up in the last 2 months for the chat GPT. I really think it should be called cheat GPT. All right, dogs. Sarah, come on. Get up here. So I get the morning going. Get the heater going. Get all the good things going. It's cold. If you're looking at my outfit today, if I can get it going. Without spilling my coffee. Hey, pup. Yeah, I've got my Heroes outfit on. My Heroes Indian outfit. Pretty cool. That I just have so much stuff. So many things that I just kind of have going on here. The Heroes outfit, I got my Heroes Indian, and I got my Heroes hoodie pullover. Really nice stuff. I love this stuff. I couldn't find this. I just found this. Gotta get my heat on me, and it is cold. So this is, I'm 3 layered up. Got my buff on. Got my hat on. I mean, it's cold this time of year here. And hey, what's the groundhog? What's the groundhog going to say up there in Philadelphia? Not Philadelphia. Pawaxani, whatever it is. I can't even Who the heck knows? I just can't. It just, what do they call that town when they started this back in the 1800s? Came from the Roman times. But here's the record. For the last 13 years, now 11 years, Phil's at 40% rate of being wrong. Not right. So his batting average isn't that great. So he believes that malarkey. Yeah, it's malarkey. Yeah, I mean, here, I get my stuff going here. Nobody's really saying anything. Oh, the artificial intelligence on my phone is what drive me nuts. This thing here, it's got a mind of its own this morning. What the heck is going on, man? Jesus Christ. I tell you what, where we are in today's society, the technology. I mean, now there's a new phone, Galaxy S23. I got the S22. And S23 is supposed to give you better nighttime. And the 200 pixel versus I have like 130 or something. I don't know. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Let me get in here my computer and get my day going. And just so much information. You know, it's constant information. Constant. And for me, I just try to relay information on my YouTube channel to have fun in the morning. And I was talking about separating the dogs. And that's the theme this morning. It's separation. It's not the cheat GPT, the generative pre-trained transformer. Just think that through. Generative pre-trained transformer. So that's the huge thing right now, that people are sitting behind computers, and it's a separation of mankind. In my view, this is the separation of mankind, no doubt. The GPT, the open AI, the artificial intelligence. Because think this through. Who hasn't thought this through yet? I mean, come on. What people now are using this to play the lotto? Think of that through. I mean, if you're following the lotto here lately, a lot of these lottos are being win at low numbers. If you're following lotto, a lot of winners. I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there. Anybody else? I'm noticing that there's a lot of small winners. So when you have like a 20 million, 30 million lotto win, it isn't any publicity. There's nothing there. It takes the $1 billion win of a lottery for people to be intrigued to go buy a ticket. Well, the low lotteries, most people don't participate, and the media doesn't give it much attention. But at the same time, there's many $1 million winners when you have 20, 30 million, $100 million tickets as well. So is the cheat? No, it's a cheat. We need to rename it. The cheat GPT. Is that the new way of people figuring out how to play lotto? I mean, wow. I mean, you can just start digging into what this opens the door in artificial intelligence as being fed so much information. So you know as well as I do, somebody's feeding this GPT lotto numbers. No doubt in my mind. Somebody's probably spending all day somehow inputting lotto numbers. So wow. Hey, if anybody wins a lotto, can you please send me some money for me telling you what to do? I mean, once again, I'm just thinking off the tip of my tongue. That just popped in my head. I think, wow, is that going to go on? Yeah, I mean, are they going to make it? I mean, is the lotteries eventually going to be like, does lotteries get played more because of that? I mean, the future, the states benefit more, benefit less? I mean, I don't know. That's a lot of variables there. So the separation to me, oh my gosh, got to drink my coffee, man. Jesus Christ. The separation now of the man's brain, our own capability to think, is being transformer. Remember I just said, right? Generative pre-trained transformer. It's transforming the way the artificial intelligence is going to operate by taking all of our information and creating its own, it's creating its own brain. Jesus Christ. Chat GPT, come on, man. Should we call it cheat? How many universities, state of New York's already banning anybody that's going to use this technology. Where's it all going, right? So the separation. So I thought to myself, we got to keep the car theme, right? I mean, it's a car channel. And yeah, I was just bragging about my power boost. Yeah, I'm bragging about the power boost. Another gentleman reached out yesterday. I have such great subscribers. I really do. And I don't have huge comments, which that's fine because I don't know how you as a subscriber. Like I think Dan the Man he always intrigues me. It's a guy out of California it's pretty much the negative, to me, it's the negative content day in, day out that people, I mean, this guy has so many subscribers and so many commenters that praise this guy for being so smart and everything else, and that's awesome. I mean, sincerely, this is not me wanting to be mean or belittle anybody. I'm just sharing. Me as a YouTuber, I don't know how, once you have all these comments that start to come in, how you can interact with your subscribers. And I think that, even for me, if I got bigger, I'd borderline feel bad if I couldn't kind of interact with people that have been so cool to interact with my channel. I mean, really. And so the point is, one of my subscribers reached out, and they said, hey, the 2022 was the first model year of the Power Boost. And it just didn't seem to get much recognition. And I responded back to him. I said, you have to wonder, the F-150 Lightning was all the talk of town for 2022. So to me, I think the Power Boost got kicked to the curb because of the F-150 Lightning. So I don't think he got much. I wasn't focused on it. I was focused on the F-150 Lightning all last year. That was my focus. And getting a Raptor truck. Oh, so yesterday I talked about, for me, the separation of Ford to going back to Ram, to Jeep or whatever. I just said the separation. I've gotten all the brand product, but boy, oh boy. Last night I was like, well, wait a second. There's a Ford Ranger Raptor coming out. Yeah, I mean, come on. Sincerely. There's a Ford Ranger Raptor coming out. So what's the odds I own that, right? I mean, so the Ford thing isn't per se, I got to be careful. I haven't kind of gone through every fun factor of the Ford product. But then at the same time, here's a guy that the Barrett-Jackson auction paid $556,000 for the first built Mustang when they build it. So he doesn't have it, but he gets first allocation, the first one built, number one, I guess. Wow. But that new Ford Mustang, I kind of got that love-hate for it. Some pictures of that thing, I don't know. Those lines, it's the Camaro. I mean, some people say it's such a Camaro-looking Mustang. The interior of that thing is like a video game or a little aircraft. So I don't know. I mean, for me, the odds are, yeah, they come out. Yeah, I'll probably end up getting one. I mean, just so yeah, might as well the latest, greatest. So yeah, I'd say the odds are once they hit the market, yeah, probably end up buying one. But anyways, in there's so what do I separate myself from? What do I separate for that? Yeah, right. Anyway, so the separation and the car theme, I think to myself, I sometimes, so many times, I get rid of cars, and I'm sure if you watch my channel, they probably think, man, how did you separate yourself from the Ford Raptor? How did you, we get so attached to things. How did you as an individual separate yourself from just not regretting selling that, and I get the Power Boost? But no, I'm so excited about that Power Boost. I don't have that separation, anxiety or whatever you want to call it. But in deeper things than me, I think about where we are in the car industry. Boy, talk about a separation. Are we at a separation of the Ice Age, the EV age, more than ever in our lifetime? I mean, it's just a constant, non-ending chatter of the electric vehicles. If you really follow the car and driver and road and track and motor trend and truck trend and auto week, and if you just really follow the automotive internet world, you just see it's just constant conversation of the electric vehicles. And even the point yesterday, I went and got my truck tinted, an LA tint, number 66, and yeah, wow, still not one free tint. Wow, can't believe it. Could you imagine you told somebody I'm going to bring 66 cars to your business? Could you give me 11? But in all sincereness, they do. They people, for what they do in the truck and how fast they do it and put me right in, put right out, they do a great job. I really appreciate what they do, and they give me a good deal. So they really do. I don't pay a lot of money out there between you and me and all my subscribers, so it's a good thing. So, but the thing is, yesterday I saw that BMW i6. That's the first flagship BMW all-electric vehicle. And there you go. There's a gentleman who bought that car, and sincerely, really nice man. I mean, I'm not here to, by any means, mock him, but I mean, he doesn't know the car. He bought it for his wife. But the gentleman, I think, was a doctor. I sincerely believe this was a very nice guy. So I don't want maybe here thinking yesterday I was mocking him about how I didn't know much about his car. It's just so much information, so much technology that it just is overwhelming. Even for me, I'm driving my Ford Power Boost. clueless that it has Blue Cruise. Yeah, I mean, somebody like, well, you know, and then my sales guy, I feel for my sales guy. Some people feel like, yeah, he doesn't, really know the product. And I think, well, yeah, but at the same time, there's so much information. Until you're kind of on that side of the equation, until you're a car salesperson, and you're really out and you're selling all these different brands, used cars, new cars. And if you ever see these guys, you got to hustle. If you ever see these parking lots, they're having to go get cars and bring a car up to you and go back get a car. I mean, that ain't no wimpy job. Some people, I think that, but a busy dealership, if you're a busy car dealership and you're a car sales guy that's averaging showing a car at least, 2 or 3 times a day, sure. If you're showing 2 or 3 a day, maybe you sell 1 out of that, maybe. I mean, the average car salesperson that's good is they sell 20 cars, but you're hustling. So anyways, when I think about the separation of us in the cars, it's just more than ever. We have so many people that people even comment on my channel like I want nothing to do with electric vehicle. I want nothing to do with it. But yet we have the governing bodies in the automotive industry pushing more than ever for us to really want to transition into the electric vehicle. And even for me, it's like, what a shame. The hybrid setup, even Toyota, the Toyota CEO, I talk about the Toyota CEO so many times because he's one of the more vocal opponents of the separation. He's been one very adamant, and that's why he's stepping down. He just doesn't get the support. The people are caving to the green agenda. They're caving to the big governing bodies. But Toyota is more about, why not hybrid? Hybrid, oh my gosh, that Power Boost truck is so powerful. It is just so confident and powerful. It's every bit of that Ford Raptor truck. In all reality, in the end, that's going to pull the Ford Raptor truck. Is it going to be huge? No. But it has that incredible power, but it doesn't have that kick down of straining type of power. So when you get into it, and I haven't even gotten into it, I'm breaking in the engine, I'm trying to do the right thing for it. And when you get into it, it doesn't struggle. It just is ease with that electric motor, the battery pack that kicks in. I mean, it's such a cool feeling. It truly has a feel of like a good old V8, very strong motor. And it doesn't give you that V6 whine. That's the biggest thing that most people don't like about V6 engines is when you get into them, you get that V6 whiny type of noise through the motor. The V8, it's more of that throaty, it's got the muscle to move you down the road. Oh my goodness, I need some more coffee. And so the separation of us and in the car market, we know, we each know as an individual that looks at the reality of what the electric vehicle really does for the world. And that's where the separation begins. So when you have the person that's fixated on a zero emission car, that's all they're fixated on. But us Ice Age people look at that person and say, but it took emissions to make the car. It takes emissions to charge the car. And so that's where the whole separation starts to begin for us, where we're so the electric vehicle doesn't make sense being forced upon the automotive industry and the governing bodies, where it should be more of a choice. Isn't that kind of how we operate in life? When you have choices, don't we seem to be more on the same page when we have choices versus when we have forces? Isn't that kind of how life works? When you're in a relationship with somebody, you're in business with people, you have a job, you do tasks. When you have a choice to kind of pick what you think is right versus wrong, don't you feel better about that? Versus you being told what you feel is wrong and being forced to do that? I mean, that's kind of where the whole separation begins. I mean, look at the police problem. Look at the Memphis thing. Look at this. Here we go. I've talked about this. I talked about the black guy being killed by the police will populate, and then it'll be the theme of 2023. And I'm not making light by any means the police killing a black guy. That is not who I am. I mean, I'm not a person that gets enjoyment of others suffering. That's not what it's about. What I'm saying is, if you look at the separation, we're getting ready to witness separation now. Here we go over again. So before we get into that conversation, back to the car theme, and that's where I think so many people are getting upset is with the governing bodies are forcing the manufacturers to abide by what they think is right versus wrong. But then the common sense people and the individuals that really understand in greater depth of what the electric vehicle is not going to accomplish, that aggravates us, and that's where it separates us. Where, I mean, I've been on car forums where I was in one car forum where when I bought my electric truck, it irked some people. Then I bought an electric Mach-E, it even irked more people. And I was literally borderline being attacked on a car forum that I'd been on for like 5, 6, 7 years. That they all thought I was turning into this greeny, brainwashed EV person. And I was like, you don't know who I am. I'm about learning about technology and having the experience to own something. But am I buying it because I think it's going to save the world? No. I mean, I'm not. And for the people that think they are buying an electric vehicle to think you're saving the world, okay, if that's what you think, that's your own world, but you're not living in reality because it's not going to save the world. It's mankind. Mankind's stupid. Mankind's so stupid, he's now got a cheat GPT that he's going to have to use artificial intelligence to figure out things. That's where society's going. That you're going to be looking to the computer and artificial intelligence on how to live your life. It's going to get radical. It's getting eerie. It's all about the money. It's all about the greed. It's beyond believable of what's going on. The separation. Yes. And then you look at the cars. Just look at the cars for me. On the Blue Cruise. Can I separate myself? You have no idea how many people I've run into and talked to about the technology in their car. They have adaptive cruise control. They're like, I hate that. I can guarantee there's people who have hands-free cars right now, and they'll tell you, I hate that. So, and why? Can they separate themselves from the control of the car? I mean, sincerely, is that what that's all about? Can you really separate yourself from believing that car really is going to do what it's supposed to do? And even for me, I've had so many adaptive cruise control vehicles now. I was in 2000, I guess it was like 16 or 17. No, earlier than that, my Toyota Sequoia. I had like a 2013, I believe, Toyota Sequoia white. That was like the first car I had with adaptive cruise. And it was terrible. I mean, it was pitiful. It was like Toyota's first really time frame of getting adaptive cruise. But maybe in 2013 or 14. Really bad technology. And then the Jeep brand brought out the adaptive cruise. And then Dodge brought adaptive cruise. So I've been around it's hard even for me to believe saying this. I've been around adaptive cruise control now close to 10 years. And it's Bosch and it's other manufacturers that make the technology, put it in the manufacturers' cars. But I can honestly say that it's an uneasy feeling. Even to this day, when I drive my truck and I've got the adaptive on, we're coming down to kind of really slow down very quickly. You're just like, come on, you really are like, come on, are you going to slow down? Are you going to stop? So for a lot of individuals, I think they can't separate themselves in believing the car is really going to do what it's supposed to do. And the hands-free driving, for sure, I can guarantee you the statistics on the amount of people that have hands-free driving that will tell you, I don't trust it, and yeah, maybe I'll use it, but rarely do I use it. And I understand that. Same thing. You can go back to my Ford F-150 Tremor that I bought in September 2021, and you can look at videos of me going over bridges with Jersey barriers and going through corners, and it's freaky. It's freaky when that truck is riding what you feel like inches off that Jersey barrier as you go through a corner, and the truck's steering itself. Yeah, it's freaky. I love the technology. I think it's dangerous. I've experienced it. I've talked about this in driving my truck. I've taken a trip to Florida and Tennessee, and I've taken road trips, and you get so comfortable in that truck that you gnaw it off. You literally gnaw it off. And that Blue Cruise doesn't have a shock in the seat that shocks you, or a vibration like the General Motors has in their seats when you get out of the lane and it shakes your butt, or a big noise, or it makes the car start jerking back and forth when the Blue Cruise turns off. It just turns off. You may hear a few seconds later a little ding. Barely even noticeable. Yeah, so in the Blue Cruise and the Ford product, you have to always be tentative all the time. But that's the thing. Manufacturers don't want the Tesla stories where the people are. I mean, you've heard the stories. I mean, I remember hearing a story where everybody in the back of the car. What were they all do in the back of the car? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably. Yeah, the good old back seat date. Maybe you remember those days in their cars? You had to take your car somewhere to have fun in your car. Yeah, so you got to wonder, was that going on in the back seat at Tesla when it crashed and I guess killed all the people? Yeah, I guess if everybody's naked, you kind of figured it out when you got at the crash scene, right? So the separation, what separates us, right? And it is. There's such a strong separation of people who are like, I'll never own an electric vehicle. I'll never own those things. And then you have people like me. It's like, yeah, I have no problem buying an electric vehicle. I like to see the technology. But I'm not buying it to tell you that I'm saving the world. I'm buying it because I just love the technology. And that's the thing. These cars have so much technology. It's incredible. That BMW i6, I mean, what is it? I never even looked. I should have last night looked at a video to see a little more in depth about that car. But I'm not a Beamer guy. That's a separation of me for sure. I mean, isn't that something? All my life, I'm not a Beamer guy. Why is that? What's that about? I mean, I really have never been fixing about a BMW car. And this isn't to belittle BMW. I mean, I'm not here being critical of BMW. I just never have been a BMW guy. And I've never really been a Mercedes guy. I've owned some Mercedes, the SUVs, and just never, just some brands. I just never really, I don't know. I mean, for me, I owned the Jaguar, I owned the Land Rovers, kind of get that out of me. It's all, you're such like a status person. I'll never forget buying a full-size Range Rover, Land Rover, $100,000 car, and I mean, beautiful car. And then like a year later, I bought that Ford Raptor truck, and it ruined it. Now, I'll never forget. I drove the Raptor truck. I go to Florida all the time, and I drive my Range Rover down there, and just beautiful over-the-road car, diesel, really good fuel mileage, just a great vehicle. And then I get the Ford Raptor truck, and I drive down, and it has more technology than Range Rover does. It's $30,000, roughly, it's $30,000 less. And it was more fun. It's comfortable. I sold that Range Rover when I got back from Florida, like in a heartbeat. I'm like, this thing's ridiculous. I mean, ridiculous. So the Raptor, talk about separation. The Raptor separated me from the Ram product. I mean, truly. I talked about this the other day. I mean, I truly separated myself from the Ram brand. When I had badass Rams, I had the Ram 1500 with the airbag, suspension. I had the 2500 Mega Cab, had the 3500s, which I ordered on my birthday in 2016 or 15. Beautiful dually white truck, just beautiful truck. And that Raptor totally converted me over to the F250, the F450, and then it transitioned into the Ford Mustang. I mean, I never owned a Ford Mustang in my whole life. Never. Until I think it was like September of 2019, I think. Maybe September. Maybe 2018. I don't know. Just so many cars. How do I separate all the different dates and times and everything else, right? So now the separation. So I think of myself, right now in the automotive industry, the governing bodies are trying to separate us from the vehicles we love of the ICE people and what we can drive. But then you go to the other aspects of our society. It seems like more than ever the governing bodies are trying to separate us as well. I mean, if you look at the pandemic, I think the pandemic is a perfect example of total separation in modern times, of us as individuals. Beyond believable on how everybody was sent home. Look at China. Is anybody really paying attention to China? And China totally locked everybody down for like 2 years and accomplished nothing from that. Nothing. So I know anybody watching my channel is like, well, if we didn't do the lockdown, then a lot more people would have died. I have no idea. All I know is a ton of people got sick sitting at home. It's just amazing that all the big box store employees all didn't die from COVID. I used to talk about that all the time. That I have friends that work at Home Depot, that work at Costco. I have people that will tell me they did 400 transactions today. How many people did they touch in one day? More than most will do in a whole year. Yes. Did they die? Nope. Can anybody show me statistics of all the Costco employees that died from COVID that worked every day of their life? Target, Lowe's, Home Depot, all Walmart, all the big box stores, all of them stayed open during COVID. But yet all the small business people were run out of business. And everybody was separated. You were separated to stay home. And then you look at all the, then the big fear factor was all the school teachers are going to die. That, then you'd have an incident where some teacher died, and that was highlighted 24/7, just like this guy Nichols is now going to be highlighted 24/7 of the police brutality and that's going on in our country. It'll be 24/7 throughout the year, so that the media machine has something to talk about and has somewhere to go and watch the party in the streets turn into the violence of the streets, and more people will die and more businesses will be burned and destroyed. If you don't think that's going to happen, then you're just not in modern times. I mean, you don't think that the back end right now strategizing. When are BLM's going to get back regroup? BLM will be regrouping here shortly. But it's too cold. It'll be April or May before that starts going on. Probably. Who knows? I mean, I hope not. I'm not here to promote negativity, but at the same time, it's a separation. So the COVID separated us, and it totally separated us on what we thought was right versus wrong. If you wear a mask, you don't wear a mask. Oh my gosh. Violence over that. You were ashamed if you didn't wear a mask. And then it went to the vaccines, where if you didn't get the vaccine, you were shamed. I have stories of friends that wanted nothing to do with the vaccine, but their family and friends and members totally disowned them until they got the vaccine. Yes, be unbelievable that everybody's brainwashed. If you get the vaccine, you're definitely not going to get sick, and you'll save the world. I mean, for me, sincerely, I looked in to get the vaccine, but after getting COVID and living, and witnessed my parents all getting COVID and living in their late 80s, and my brother and my sister and my wife never got it. Type O blood. She's type O blood. Hello. Type O blood. How many people died? Now they're going back and they're separating who really died from COVID, where the hospitals cashed out their $50,000 death certificate. I mean, did anybody connect the dots on that? That if you're a hospital, you can maybe only hope that guy dies of COVID. You're going to get your $35,000 to $50,000 payout for taking care of him. Yeah, does anybody remember those stories? I mean, it gets in deep. It goes down a rabbit hole. But the point is, the schools, it separated the poor from the middle class to upper class people. Because if you think, it's just beyond believable. If you're a blue collar worker, how did that work out when the schools wouldn't watch your kids all day go to school? Who took care of your kids? Oh, I can guarantee there's stories of beyond believable. The blue-collar workers leaving their kids at home, and there was no adult supervision, but they didn't talk about it. I mean, who was taking care of them? How do they afford to pay for that? And who's going to take care of them anyways? Has the COVID shut down child care, daycare, and everything? Wow, the separation. And so for all these younger kids, the separation of learning is, how's that going to start to play out? Oh, wait a second. We got the cheat GPT. Wow, there you go. The cheat GPT. There's sell your soul. I've thought about making a theme, sell your soul. How many people do that in their life? I mean, to get through life. I mean, beyond believable. What people do is sacrifice themselves for others. Yikes. Wow, right? The separation. Yeah, so anyways, I know. I'm just here. Another YouTube day. Running out of time. It's getting late. Got a little late start this morning. And the Heroes. I love my Heroes collection from the Indian line. You can go on to the Indian Motorcycle website and you can get this stuff. I mean, my dad's so funny growing up. There's an Indian behind every tree. If you understand what that means. And then years ago, like the Washington Redskins, Dan Snyder, one of the worst professional football owners in the league, wish they would get rid of that guy. Can't they get rid of that guy? There was speculation Jeff Bezos was going to buy him out. That guy needs to leave. That guy is that guy's just a terrible person. Get out of town, Dan. Get the hell out. You ruined the Washington Redskins. Now it's the Washington Commanders. So there's been conversations where the Indian motorcycle here, that it's going to be taken away because it's derogatory. It's derogatory that I own an Indian motorcycle. and it's called chief or chieftain. That's derogatory. I mean, yeah, just watch. I mean, there's been conversations behind the scenes at Polaris Motorcycles that there are individuals wanting to force them to change the name of Indian motorcycle. Does that be unbelievable? I mean, do these people have something else to do with their life all day? Yeah, the separation of the government paying people to sit home. I mean, okay, you all see it starting to play out. Right now, people are depleting their 401k savings accounts because they can't afford to pay the bills. I'm just reading about people have no more money because the government, I talked about this over a year ago, that now the government's turned off, even though it hasn't turned off totally. Joe Biden just extended the pandemic criteria stuff till May 11th. So it's still ongoing of certain things, pandemic related. People are getting, relief, and I'm not making light of people who need financial help, but I'm saying the separation of government continuing to pay for people to sit around all day long. Yeah, the inner cities. What's the inner city problem? The government. That's the inner city problem. It's the government. Will the government actually acknowledge that? These Democratic mayors and governors that run their states in the ground of their governing policies, and they scratch their head and wonder. You have DAs, you have district attorneys in these crime-ridden cities that won't do anything, won't prosecute people. And then you wonder why eventually the police just totally lose it and beat the crap out of a guy. And the thing is, statistics show that the most violence is in the most violent cities. So typically where the violence plays out is typically very high crime, high violent areas. And then here's the other reality. So the police now are going to be sentenced and probably sent to jail, and then the other police now are going to cower. Can't blame them. They're going to be running to the ground. So what ends up happening from this guy Nichols' death in Memphis is that then it just puts it like in hyper mode of crime and violence, and it will just even get worse in Memphis. Yeah, that's statistics. And here's something, and when you go to try to find out statistics, the separation of you and me will be what I just say right now. I mean, it can be. It can be like, okay, so when I go to the internet and you try to figure out what is the real statistics of black people to white people being killed. Well, in one aspect, the white guy like me gets killed and shot more by the police than the black guy does. But is that true? I mean, that's a separation statement. I'm not here supporting anybody being shot. I said this a long time ago. When you send police to the police academy and they shoot black targets all day long, is that a subliminal message? Is that already a problem? I have no idea. I'm just throwing that out there. What color's the targets? I mean, that's racist. I'm just throwing out ideas. So, but in the end, what it comes down to is what I think the black population in this country is 13% of all ethnic groups. So what they're saying is the proportion of the amount of blacks get killed compared to the whites. That's where the number is. So it isn't as if they're killing more white guys than black guys. That's my understanding. But I'm not here to argue, and I'm not here to justify the police killing anybody. I'm just saying we start hearing the statistics. And so I think that's where it kind of gets all confusing and it separates us, because it doesn't sound like the police overall, per se, are targeting, but it's easy by the media to present it and look that way. Even for me as a person, yeah, you see so much black people being killed by police. I don't disagree. The perception to me is, yeah, the police target the black people. But at the same time, you don't see much media about the guy that looks like me being killed or kicked in the head or, beat the crap out of by police. Yeah, we all know why. It's a narrative. Yeah, that's where we then have a separation. That's the sad part, and that's where we're getting ready to go through. GOP has control of the House. Oh, get this. So Joe Biden's Rehoboth Beach home, wherever, there's no classified documents found in it. I mean, if you're buying that story, I mean, you're an idiot. I'll just tell you straight up, you're an idiot. So Joe Biden's house documents were found, like a month ago? Okay, so, I mean, how stupid can anybody be? The documents from that house were removed way before. They were removed shortly after that. So they're just now getting to the crime scene a month later. I mean, this is like you're killing people and they found bodies in your one house. You got a bunch of other houses. By the time you get to those, don't you think you probably would have gotten the bodies removed by the time you got to those? I mean, it's just beyond believable. The media, the artificial intelligence. I guess artificial intelligence is to start telling the media they're stupid. Yeah, how do you feel when the cheap GPT tells you you're stupid? How do you handle that? How does it? I mean, it's scary stuff. The people are going to get so caught up in this artificial intelligence that'll convince somebody that they're worthless. I mean, who the hell knows? That's the devious part. And the sad part is China's in on this. China is into the AI like you can't believe. And so when they get the artificial intelligence to get into the young kid's computer to mislead him in information, wow. Anybody following this stuff? Where this is all going? I mean, beyond believable, the brainwashing that's going to come from artificial intelligence. It's beyond believable, which we're going to witness here in our lifetime, of what people are thinking are truthful, and it's not. Oh, my gosh. All right, everybody, the separation. Hey, don't separate yourself from my channel. Hope I didn't do that today, right? Hey, everybody, thanks for watching my channel. Appreciate you reaching out. Nice comments. Follow me along. I like the funny stuff. We got some funny subscribers, that's for sure. Got some great subscribers. I feel like I think I have the most intelligent, smart subscribers of any YouTube base. How about that? Is that pretty good? Right? Hey, everybody, thanks for watching. God bless. Stay safe. What the heck we doing next? You never know with me. Stay tuned.